Everyone, it's Ann at Martin House Flowers. Today I wanted to do a couple of plantings. I had put in the ground a few weeks ago the turtle head perennial, and it's just starting to bloom now. So yesterday I went to our local nursery, and they actually had 35% off. And believe it or not, I only picked up a couple of perennials, and because I am running out of space until I widen some of our beds, which I don't think I'm going to do till the spring. So I picked up another turtle head that's budded out, hasn't bloomed yet. So I'm going to put that on the other side of the firelight tidbit hydrangeas that are over there behind me on the side of the greenhouse. So I thought I'd take you along for that. And also, we're going to pick up this, I call it a variegated willow. We did back home in Canada. I had two of them in my home at the edge of the driveway, and they were just so beautiful and wispy. So they had one left at the nursery, and so I picked that up, but I haven't, I paid for it, but we're going to go pick it up probably later today or tomorrow, and plant that sort of in front of the greenhouse, just at the end of the bed where the hostas are. So I'll show you where that's going to go. And the third thing I picked up was a salvia that I will plant just in front of my clematis, my Happy Jack clematis. So hoping to get that done. It's going up into the high, close to 90 this weekend. Hopefully you'll get a little bit of rain. So yeah, I'm just going to work on that today and take you along. So thanks for joining me, and hope you enjoy this video. So we're thinking of putting the willow tree, which is just a small ornamental. It's about 7 feet tall now, and I think it grows to about 15 feet. So we'll have it right in this area. We'll probably extend that hosta bed out a little bit to include the tree right about there. So I just wanted to show you here. I haven't got my hands on any chicken wire yet, and those cloches are not tall enough. I had planted here a couple of weeks ago a white chiffon rose of Sharon, and I had to cover it up because I don't know if you can see inside the netting there, but there we go. The rabbits basically defoliated most of the leaves, and then the worst part is they started scraping away at the bark, if you can see right there, which they managed to kill the rose under my obelisk right behind me. They totally stripped the canes on my rose, so I'm worried that they're going to do that to this. So I've temporarily covered it with this netting bag, which I have several. So I'm hoping I can still get it to leaf out. I put a cloche here on this rose. This is the, let's see which rose this is. It's a French name. It just escapes me. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning, but pretty soon I'm going to have to take that cloche off. Once it leaves out like that, I feel pretty confident that the rabbits will leave it alone. They tend not to attack my roses that are thorny and leafed out. They usually attack them when they're quite young. So here's the turtle head that I planted, and it's just a late summer blooming perennial, and I really loved it, so I decided I needed to match that on the other side, since I have the turtle head, the Roseanne geranium, the 3 firelight tidbits, which I don't think, I was just watching some videos, they're getting a little sun scorched. I don't think they're going to bloom till next year, so they're just getting established. When I first planted them, they were pretty wilted, so I think they're going to be okay. They get morning sun here and afternoon shade, and these firelight tidbits and firelights families, do really well in full sun. There's the other Roseanne. So I thought I should mirror the selection here. Put another one of these turtle heads. So there's the card there. It's called Hot Lips. And the color on this card is more like a softer pink. As you can see, it's more of a purpley pink, almost like a magenta. So it is a really good price. So it grows 24 to 36 inches high and wide. Sun to part shade, which is perfect because this gets morning sun and afternoon shade. So yeah, I've got some biotone plant tone there that I'm going to put in the hole, and I'm just going to dig this up now and go from there, and then plant the salvia next. So there's the Ansonia. I almost picked another one up, but I can tell it's going to grow pretty large, pretty wide. I kept a card here. String Theory, Sonia. It blooms in the spring. It's 18 to 22 inches. Looks like it's already almost full size. And hardy to zones 4 to 9, late spring through early summer, full to part sun. So I like the foliage. Honestly, I was really worried that the bunnies would like this foliage, but they haven't touched it. So that was another reason why I just picked one of everything, because I haven't had any history on it. I'm going to show you after I plant this turtle head the Proven Winners Baptisia in the corner over there, in that back corner, that I've had to cover it too because the rabbits have been breaking branches one by one every week, so it's really upsetting. So let me just set this up and I'll plant away. I'm sorry, it turns out that my camera was not filming the entire time I was digging the hole and planting this turtle head, but there it is, all planted out. And unfortunately, I snapped a couple of the weaker branches on the back. I hope I didn't break any other branches because there's some beautiful buds. So there's one set of buds, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be beautiful. So I gave these guys a drink too, but there it is there again. It's blooming over here. So this is Turtle Head Hot Lips. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness, lots of new growth. So excited about it. Apparently it only blooms once a season, but it's always nice to have some late summer blooms. And then next year those firelight tidbits will bloom in. So I'm using this mushroom compost. It's twice the price of the regular cow compost, but I thought I'd give it a try for my roses. I'm going to try to put some down around my roses till the winter. I usually buy mint compost from Heirloom Roses. If there's a sale, I might pick up some again because they really help to overwinter. So there's my Let's Dance sky views that have been cut back. These leaves here are from the original, but here I cut back all the original leaves. And they haven't rebloomed, but they're definitely healthy. And they get a nice morning sun afternoon shade here. So there's a Delish Rose. So I wanted to show you the lights that we put up. He's still doing the last string. So we've done locked up. But if you can see there, we've done 2 strings along the angle roof line, one across the middle, another one here, and the 4th and 5th one over still need to go up. So what my husband did was use the eye bolts in the corners to conserve the eye bolts that you see there. There we go. Those are the eye bolts that we got from BC Greenhouse, and he hung some aircraft wire which is rust-free and very heavy duty. And he strung the patio lights along there from hose link. So really happy with that. So let's go over to the back here. Oh, the sun got there. Darn it. But it's going to take just a few minutes to plant up. Yesterday, the kids were out here picking the tomatoes, and these are the tomatoes that were already damaged, so they just left them out here for the birds or whoever. I think I'll just dump them back into the bed, but this bed is just gone crazy even after I've cut back these tomatoes. And definitely a little inundated with marigolds and nasturtiums and the dahlias. But here's the area over here that I was going to plant the salvia. So I'm going to set this up here. Hopefully my tripod does not fall. It's not too windy today. So let me just grab my shovel. And here I do feel the cardboard breaking through. But I got to the soil pretty easily. So it's definitely pretty fertile and it's breaking down nicely. So I'm just going to, like I did with the other one, I do have to come in here and edge and join this bed. So there it is. So there is my Happy Jack clematis that's growing, and there are the cucumber vines that's growing above it. So I think for now, for this year, I'm going to leave that trellis on there, that temporary trellis, because it's just allowing the plant to develop its root system, and I won't have cucumbers climbing here next year. I just, if you recall, when we first set up the arbors and the pathway, we were originally planning to put the arbor inside the bed and have my climbing veggies, peas, cucumbers climb. But because of having issues leveling them, my husband decided to put them on the outside and create this entrance area here. Sorry about my shadow, but it's sunny here. So I need to come in and edge this all properly. This cardboard bed here, this no-dig bed. You haven't heard my Bar Harbor Bell in a while because I usually do voiceovers and music, so this is live, and I'm hoping this third microphone works out today. But anyway, as you can see here, the mini pumpkins have overgrown into the pathway. I'm going to need to cut those back again. But I really didn't like spending $1 or more a mini pumpkin. So I'm going to let those develop. Here's a little one here. I've already harvested a couple, but there's one. There's some white ones down here, if you can see. They're really pretty. I see 3. Oh, there's another one down there underneath the flower. So this flower will develop into that. So yeah, I mean, they're nice for fall decorating, but as soon as these are ready, I'm going to look forward to cutting this all back. So maybe I'll just live with this inconvenience for now. But here's a sunflower. I believe this is a teddy bear sunflower. And there's something down there that looks like also some kind of flower budding up. But there's one here, a second one there, There's the third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So clearly these are branching. So I'm going to get a dozen or so, 12 or 13, maybe more sunflowers on the edge here that we're starting to get covered up by all these mini pumpkins. My husband was really disappointed that I didn't have any butternut squash planted, and I don't think I did, but I just literally ran out of space. And last year, butternut squash invaded this bed, and we had to pull out a bunch and plant them at the base of the trees, the fruit trees, and they didn't really do well. So here, the bachelor buttons, I've learned, are my latest cut flower. It's August, end of August, and they're just coming up. But I did plant this bed really late because my husband didn't get it completed till June. So look at, there's one delphinium that's coming up, that's blooming, and I planted two rows, and if I can get a couple of these come up, I'll be super happy. But yeah, and there's the African daisies. So I've learned a lot this year, as I've mentioned, and next year, I mean, zinnias, this front half were direct sown and this back half were grown in soil blocks. And I'm going to do that again next year, but for succession planting, this direct sowing worked really well, because I don't know about the rest of you that grow, start from seeds. By the time you start planting out in May, you sort of lose your steam in terms of doing new seedlings. Now that I have a greenhouse, I definitely will be starting things sooner. So somebody came in here and cut some flowers and left them down, left these scraps, and I always like to pick them up because I don't want anything rooting in the gravel. So this bed is getting, oh gosh, it's third, fourth flush. Unbelievable how the cut and come again works so well here. They're definitely shorter, the second and third blooms, but so here's some direct sowed zinnias, and these are like the first set of, these were the thinned out snapdragons I had from my first 2 trays, and I just direct sowed these zinnias to fill space. I planted out these daisies that sadly I know I've overwatered them in the past by the mailbox, but this is the Amazing Daisies Banana Cream, and I love them so much. I was determined to give them another try, and I got a buy one, get one free from Barb over at Sycamore Garden Market, and I love supporting her. And I thought I was not successful before, but I'm going to try it again. But I did not overwater these this time. And I'm going to come in. I only water these beds, gosh, every second or third day. There's some hollyhocks in the background there that are finally coming up that my stepdaughter direct sowed some, and they took their time. Literally, I know she planted more than what's coming up. Maybe it's because these are a biennial variety, but there's a bunch here and a bunch there. So, and over there, a third. I think these are the Bennery's Giant Coral, which are very red looking, very orangey red. And these are the Bennery's Giant Bright Pink. And then the buttercream. So there is my proven winners Baptisia that I've had to cover, and it's so healthy what's left. But I had probably, there's 1, 2, 3 stems left, and there's 4 and 5 that were chomped, there were at least 7 healthy stems. I don't know if you can see that very well. But there's only 3 healthy stems left. So I've decided to cover it, and hopefully it still gets enough sunlight to continue to grow. But super disappointed in those dang rabbits. And there is my penstemon for the hummingbirds. I saw some of those at Garden Market. I wonder if she has any more. I feel like I'd like to put a group of 3 in here somehow. Yeah, maybe I'll do that in the back. But I know this bloomerang lilac from Proven Winners will get pretty large, so don't know. Maybe there's room behind there. Or plant some in front here. I'm not sure. So something over here and over here, because that kind of gets wasted back there. But it's just to attract the hummingbirds. So again, the Veronica, this is Royal Candles. So happy with it. I've cut them back once, and I'll cut them back again, but I don't think they'll get a 3rd flush, so I'm just sort of waiting till the color is pretty much depleted. And there's a forsythia in the back there that's gotten probably double the size already, so I think by spring it's going to do phenomenal. And this is the 3rd set of blooms, this 3rd flush of the bloomerang here. And of course my rising sun redbud. So it's gotten pretty hot. So here is the one rose. Can't tell you which one is which. One is called Kiss Me Kate, which I'll show you in the front how that's doing, and one is called Impressionist, the Impressionist. So I won't know until I start to get blooms next year, fully expecting that they'll bloom next year, not this year. So let's take a quick walk. We did cut back and made a bouquet last night. We cut a nice bucket full of snapdragons and zinnias and some amaranth, did a nice bunch of those. And I cut back a lot of these cosmos. They seem to be really struggling now. A few of the plants I really cut back already. One over here and one over there. And I had some purple coneflower, 2 rows of them here, all completely eaten up by the bunnies. So that was a big letdown. So here are there was a sunflower there that was the only remaining sunflower that was originally here. So these are my firelights. Actually, let me grab the tag that's on the front porch. I was watching a few videos today, and I was like, which are they now? Are they Quickfire or Firelight? So this is Quickfire Fab. And I love it when there's the odd white and pink versus all the rose, the dark fall colors coming out. So I think this is my lavender, not the blue chiffon, but the lavender chiffon. I heard someone or saw someone describing theirs, and the reason I thought it was the blue chiffon is when they're budding out, they're very blue. Oh, there's one that's fallen off. So it's very blue. And then it comes out this more pinky lavender color. So I heard someone today, oh, there's one of those beetles. Soldier beetles. I think we Googled it last night. But yeah, I think this is a lavender chiffon, and this is its 2nd year. And I was watching today too a bunch of videos on overwintering geraniums, because now that I have my greenhouse, I think I'm going to try to overwinter some geraniums. Just leave them in their pots. I'm not going to do the, bare root method where you pull out the root, shake off all the soil, and put it in a paper bag and put it in the basement to go dormant. I'm going to just leave some in the pots, cut them back a little bit. But I wanted to show you some of the roses here. So there's Scepter Dial. That is, where'd the tag go? Goodness. Oh, there it is. David Austin's Scepter Dial. So it's only bloomed once. So it's supposed to be a continuous bloomer, but look there's some new buds coming out, new growth. And I did zip tie some of these Eden climbing rose, and it bloomed once, very, very small blooms earlier on in the season, but New Dawn has been the most prolific of my climbers, actually next to Kiss Me Kate. So I'm struggling with, I love the blooms of Kiss Me Kate, which I know I've done a separate video on, and there's a third cane there that's, and I'll show it to you, it's on the wall. But New Dawn has been very prolific with its blooms, and I'll show you, step back, how we've trained it to climb. It was last week, it was in the middle, and now it's over here. So it's going to definitely meet Eden. So there's Rosanna Jacobs, budded out. Beautiful. There's Tchaikovsky. Look how gorgeous. I've mentioned before, Tchaikovsky is the most prolific continuous bloomer. Oh, there's some more Rosanna Jacobs down there. Now, Rosanna Jacobs, I did notice, had a lot of black spot, but I've cut them back. They were mostly at the base, so it's looking better now. And Tchaikovsky over here also has gotten some black spot. It does suffer a little bit with that. Arctic Blue was the last one I planted here. It's really small. It did bloom already this year, but it's a really petite little lavender blue. There's Litchfield Angel that has got some new growth. I did come in and use fish fertilizer about 2 weeks ago. I think the first week of August was the last time I did it, and I'm not going to continue fertilizing now. But so this is Perfuma Madame Anisette, which I love her. She's just like the photo. She has a little bit of a greenish tinge with the cream and the soft pink in the center. So this is Olivia Rose that I have two side by side. There's the buds, how dark they are. And then look at that. Beautiful. She blooms and is so fragrant. She has been the most prolific of this first year pink rose. I think she's my favorite, more than Tchaikovsky, because she doesn't get any brown spot. And she's just grown so huge. Look at that peony style of rose. My goodness. And she's fragrant. So beautiful. I wish my mom was here to see this. A few days ago, 3 days ago, my video had some of my roses, but Olivia wasn't blooming a few days ago, so now she's just going crazy. So the bit of disappointment here is Emily Bronte that's planted in the front of Olivia Rose. She has been working on her canes and has had all this, what I call teasing foliage, where they're red and they look like they're going to turn into roses, but nothing has come up. And she does have some brown spot. So I need to come in and pull those off, which I do from time to time, and not leave them on the ground. And hiding there is Princess Alexandra of Kent with lots of red foliage. So probably in another few days, there'll be those nice bright pink, almost fuchsia pink buds. There is Easy Spirit that was blooming earlier. She's a nice white one. And here's my two Queen of Swedens. And there's one left there, but I'm going to drop in a video, a clip of just a few days ago where there were lots of blooms. So coming up behind here. So the nice thing is it's a succession of Queen of Sweden and then Olivia Rose. And they just take turns blooming. Just so pretty. So pretty. Olivia does drop her rose like this. She's quite heavy, but so gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. I love her. And Rosanna Jacobs has been really pretty. She's a hybrid tea. And I always think of my mom with yellow roses. I think we used to always give her yellow roses. It's a nice big weed here. So I'm going to take you over to Kiss Me Kate. Oh, look at Midas Touch has gotten bigger. Just another yellow rose. And there are the trio of the foxgloves that these ones look a little bit yellow, but the ones on the side of the house that I'll show you in a minute, they're looking really healthy. Don't think they're going to bloom this year. They're the Peach Digitalis. They're supposed to bloom in the first year, but don't think it's going to happen. They're just working on their foliage. But hopefully next year. And there's Lady of Shalott building its tall branches, canes, my non-stop snapdragons that have invaded the geranium that's in here that is obviously gone. The geranium's been overtaken, but that's okay. And at last they're finished. But look at Earth Angel. She's gotten so stinking tall. I'm 5'2". She's at least 5 foot. She's supposed to be a 3x3. Not quite. Need to come in here and water these hydrangeas. I'll do that when the sun goes down a little bit later this afternoon. Let's walk through here. This Veronica is trying to get its second flush. The bare root peony that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. If you can see between the right behind Lady of Shalott and the Spirea. So this lavender, she's not going to make it, I don't think. She's really struggling, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 healthy ones. So I'm going to call my nursery and find out what variety of lavender these 2 or 3 here, the larger ones, and I'm going to replace that. I don't know if they have them this year, but might have to wait till the spring. But there's the other Tchaikovsky. You can see how big he's gotten. And there's distant drums. Oh, they opened up. It's so neat how dark the bud is, the rosebud, and then it blooms out into this, covered in aphids. I don't have my soapy homemade spray on me, so I just blew them off. There's Earth Angel. So she's been cut back and she's very prolific. Used to be my favorite rose. She is sometimes in the spring. So there's Serendipity, I think. Serendipity alliums that I need to split in the spring. But look at Kiss Me Kate. Look how tall. So this is a 5.5 foot trellis. And look at her. I did zip tie her because she was growing right in the middle of this bed. So I zip tied her to try and climb up here. And I think I'm going to get a 3rd set of blooms. Uh-oh. Not looking too good on my containers. Sorry to go in there. They might be finishing up. And these phlox, white phlox from Proven Winners that I got on clearance last year, they bloomed really nicely in the spring, but they're looking really sad already. And there's some salvia that I had in a container last year, and it's growing really nicely. So I got to get out of the sun because it's pretty hot and intense. And that's it for now, until we plant our tree later this weekend. So I'm pretty hot and sweaty and hoping you can't see, but my hair is up and I'm dripping with sweat. So I just wanted to say thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again on the next video. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and hope you got outside into your gardens. Thank you. Bye-bye.